Hi guys, welcome to my blog this week. Today it's the November 19th, and for this week, lucky enough, we ended up having Taylor on again.
Hello, thank you for having
You're
me.
welcome. And so this week we're going to talk about, once again, digital technology with the focus on classroom environment. And as you guys know, the last few weeks I've been talking about how digital technology can really benefit teachers and the 5 competencies of learning. But this week we kind of thought about taking a different approach and as to how classroom environment can kind of be affected negatively by digital technology.
Yeah, technology is there to help, but it can also hinder the classroom environment, the students you have, depending on the way the physical room of it is actually set up. You have small children and you have cords running around the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're really not that coordinated yet, depending on the age group, and still, fall right into a smart
Little
board.
hands, iPads, dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing we talked about was the cost of this digital technology. Not all schools can afford iPads, laptops, smart boards for each room, each student even. So it's just kind of a matter of like fairness and things like that.
Yeah, and like the diversion of resources,
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of onto cost. How do you decide that spending money on iPads and computers, setting up computer labs, how do you outweigh that benefit towards, having other programs that are also expensive, music, art, gym, and taking up those spaces? So I think, just how do you benefit having, does every classroom need a computer? Does every classroom need an iPad kind of thing?
Yeah, and with that, because there is this technology available, there is this idea of limited learning. There's students that are going to be working on PowerPoints and they're going to be finding information, but they're going to be spending more time making it look pretty and having sounds and the way the slides go across. And is that really a good way to spend your time in class? You only have a certain amount of hours in each day in the year to complete your curriculum and your syllabus, and I don't know if that's very distracting. So whether it's good or not is up for
Well, and
debate.
with limited learning too, having iPads and computers in every classroom, that gives students the ability to have knowledge right at their fingertips. And although that's a reality in the 21st century, you have to then teach students what is a reliable source. How do you find something that's safe? And then you have internet safety, you have your digital footprint. There's a lot to consider when kids have the access to these technologies. And if we are seriously thinking about implementing computers into every classroom, like there are in most classrooms, there comes a whole nother kind of curriculum that needs to be implemented with that.
Absolutely, and you have to teach them all these different tools and spend time learning how to just use the programs, which can be spent.
And teachers need to be educated on that too.
Yep, money involved again with the cost with digital technology in the classroom. Oh, so many factors.
And I think lastly, the biggest thing for me is the distraction that having this technology in the classroom can be. As you kind of mentioned, it can be really engaging for the learning experience, but you take students that have learning issues, maybe ADD, other disabilities, that technology can be very distracting and overwhelming. There's a lot of visual information coming at you at once, and so
yeah, definitely, yeah. If you have some students with any sort of disability, it can be very overstimulating for them, which just ruins the rest of the afternoon for you and the student, and the rest of the class is distracted. So it's just so many things to be considered about when you have this kind of advanced technology in your classroom.
And I think that's just kind of the main point we're trying to get. We're not trying to say that all digital technology is bad and that we shouldn't incorporate it into the classroom. I just think you have to be very aware of who your students are and kind of just weigh the pros and the cons of digital technology for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of things to consider.
Awesome. Well, I hope that gives everyone kind of something to think about, a bit of a different perspective. And stay tuned next week for our video. Thanks, Taylor.
No problem. Thanks.
Bye.